Hello everybody, Stephen House from Full Time Devils, and I'm here with Barnaby from Spurred On TV. And thank God he's not the kind to gloat, and he doesn't really want to talk. He's just standing here next to us just for the shot. He doesn't want to say anything whatsoever about the game, do you?
Well, I'm not a big gloater. I'm not a City fan or an Arsenal fan. They're the kind of people who do that. Like I've said, I always like Manchester United. I think Spurs and United try and play football the right way. What I will say is, though, you know, we've had to put up with a lot here from United. 15 years since we won here. Obviously, we were 3-0 up one year and lost at half-time, lost 5-3. So, you know, I think you won't take it away from me that it is an enjoyable feeling to have won that game 3-0, but not because it's Man United, really more because the pressure was on. Leicester had won earlier in the day. I felt we needed this win to guarantee Champions League football, not worry about slipping out. I think we've done that now, and it was a good performance.
Really? You honestly thought you could slip out?
Honestly, mate, I'm a Spurs fan. You probably don't know what it's like, but grabbing defeat from the jaws of victory is just the history of Spurs in my lifetime. So there's always that thing in the back of my head. Surely we can't, but could we? You know, like, surely Bayern Munich aren't going to lose to Chelsea in that Champions League final. We'll get knocked out of the top four. It could only happen to us. I don't think it's going to happen to us this time, though. Thank God.
Right, we spoke in the preview, and we both thought it was going to be a fairly close, open but close game, and we didn't really see that. We just spoke on your channel, and you mentioned that you thought we benefited from the coach delay a little bit more than perhaps you guys did. What happened to change it in your favour, do you think?
I thought it was, very tight first half, nip and tuck. Martial, I thought, looked incredibly dangerous, very quick, very powerful. To me, almost looking like maybe that extraordinary sum of money that you're going to end up paying for him might be worth it. And then what surprised me a little bit was the substitution at half-time. Ashley Young coming on. Firstly, a lot of our fans have a bit of a thing for Ashley Young anyway. They don't like him at all. But secondly, to then play him up in the 9 instead of bringing him out wide and Martial up front, where I think he would have caused us a lot of problems, was a big surprise. I think we gained a bit from that. The first 10-15 minutes of the second half, I thought you were on top, and then we just kind of ratcheted it up a bit. And I think the difference with this Spurs and previous versions of Spurs is there's an inner belief. There's like a desire, and it's not just the players and the staff, it's the fans as well. And they just felt like it was coming a little bit. And then, you know, a fantastic first goal for us, which really broke you, I thought. Christian Eriksen, who I think is technically our best player, he got a tiny bit of space, and he could have taken a touch, brought it onto his favoured right foot, but he didn't. Almost blind, he played a lovely through ball across the box to Ali. And once the first one was there, it was obviously 3 and 5 minutes or whatever, and we broke you there, you know, and there was no coming back. It feels you're quite fragile, I think, once the first goal goes in, it's fair to say.
Yeah, we've seen that. We have lacked that fight, and I think it's a consequence of us lacking leaders in the team. Where you used to look around the Manchester United team and you go, well, there's like 6 captains in that side there that you can rely on. If the captain's having a bad day, he's going to rollick him, and he's going to rollick him, and don't worry about it, we'll get there. Well, this Manchester United side seems to just be a little bit yellow, a little bit weak, a little bit just paper. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't have that quality that we used to have.
Do you know what? What's really interesting about this, and it shows how quickly things change in football. I agree with exactly what you're saying. And at the beginning of this season, I was saying about Spurs, I didn't feel we had leaders down the spine of the team in particular. And then this season, Alderweireld, bang, one of the best leaders we've had in years. Not only so good that, you know, he sorted out our fullbacks and made them look like they can defend, but also when Jan Vertonghen got injured, he made Kevin Wimmer, who not started a Premier League game, has come from abroad for 3 million quid, look like he'd been playing there all his life. Total leader. Eric Dyer, like, you know, future captain of this club, possibly future captain of England, I think. An absolute leader with the technical capacity to play on the ground as well. Fantastic, bruising defensive midfielder who can play centre-back as well. And Harry Kane, who, you know, I hadn't really thought about it that much until this season, but last season he basically single-handedly threw Adebayor out of this club by apparently a training session just saying, I'm not having this anymore. And he's 22 years old. You know, he's 22 years old. He's the face of the club now. Total leader. So down that spine, we have got that now, and they all seem really bonded together. They seem to really enjoy each other's company on and off the pitch, and we've certainly benefited from that. So yeah, you need to find that way of instilling that in your side as well.
You're 7 points off Leicester. There's what now left for you? You've got an extra game, haven't you?
5 games, both 5 games.
Can you do it?
Honestly, I haven't said at any point in this season that I think we'll win the title. I've always been like, it's possible. But before 3 weeks ago, I also had never thought Leicester would. They've put together 5 1-0 wins If they do it, they deserve it. Of course they do. But until it's mathematically out of the question, we can do it. To me, it's like a Devon Lock situation, that Grand National horse who he'd already jumped the last fence and then just fell over on the flat. We would need them to do something like that. I think we need to try and stick in there until the last 3 games. Make sure it's not mathematically impossible by then. And then they've got they've got Everton, they've got Chelsea. You never know. Although I do think Chelsea would probably just lay over and die for them on the last day rather than win us the title. So it's not going to be easy by any means. It's possible, unlikely, I have to say. And if Leicester do it, fair play to them.
Cheers, Barnaby. I agree. I think if they do it, they've absolutely deserved it, and no one can take that away from them. I'll leave you to go celebrate, and yeah.
It's not too bad.